Well, all right. And welcome back to another exciting episode of Legends. Yes, we're back for the final episode of 2023.
And what a year it's been.
Oh, what a year. It's had its ups, it's had its downs. It's been very weird in all kinds of many different ways, a myriad of ways.
Amen.
Yeah.
Before we get started.
Yes, as always, before we get started, please remember to hit that subscribe button, jam on that like button, or the dislike button. We're all about promoting the dislike button. If you don't like us, please hit that button. It's the least you could do. Shit.
Right.
You know? You can't
play, interact.
You dislike.
Become one.
That's right. So, yeah. Please do that for us. Thank you so much.
How was Christmas?
Christmas, man. Christmas was good. It wasn't super eventful. I was very fortunate I didn't have to go to a million places on Christmas Day. That worked out well. Yeah, my family, we're getting up there in the age where it's just a lot easier. We still have grandkids to deal with and whatnot, but it's getting that age where, it's unnecessary to necessarily make certain visits all the time.
Well, must be nice, man. I tracked down to West Palm to visit my family.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and stayed for a short period of time on the floor on like a fold-out futon thing. That wasn't even the bad part, it's an open plan kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I was like in a room that was basically connected to the dining room, which is connected to the kitchen, so I could hear every appliance like throughout the night.
Yeah.
And I've become so much worse with being an indoor person and not like being out in the world, that I had a real problem with one of our Christmas traditions, which is to go watch a movie on Christmas Day.
Oh, hell. I haven't done that in years.
Yeah, it just set me on edge, dude.
Yeah. I can't imagine going to a movie theater now. I've thought about it. I have thought, I might like to go see this movie. But, yeah, that's... Dude, the last movie I saw in the theaters was The Right. And I think it was 2011 or something like that. That was a long time. I even missed the whole 3D phase, the whole craze.
Wow.
It came and went, and I never saw it.
I will say one of the good things about the West Palm Theater is the fact that you can get just about any kind of an adult drink you want to go in.
Oh, that's good. Well, that does help.
Yeah.
If you do partake in that kind of thing, yeah, sure, go for it, man.
They just need a weed bar.
Yeah, no doubt. That's all we want. Yep.
Give me a pack of the 20 straight gummies.
That's right, man. For real. Let's go watch a movie. But yeah. So, well, that's good, man. Sounds like everybody had a pretty fair Christmas, so that's all.
Yeah.
That's all well and good. So we also were treated this Christmas to a brand new doctor. We got one new doctor episode before they make us wait until the spring.
Right.
Which we speculated months back, and we got it right. I remember saying that I think we're going to get a Christmas episode, and then they're going to hold off till the spring for putting the rest out. So, yay us for getting something right.
Happens on occasion.
Yeah, it does. And wow, man, I am so mixed on this episode in so many ways. Like,
I just want to put this out there because we went to go see Wonka on Christmas.
Oh, did you?
And I just have this real problem with everything being a musical these days.
Oh, yeah.
You've got to have like some kind of a Hamilton-esque music piece somewhere in your creation.
Yeah, that's one of the things that conflicts me. I mean, some parts of the story were enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
The idea of the little goblins and being on their, pirate ship was kind of cool and all that stuff. But us getting to know the doctor, getting to know Ruby was tortuous, man. It was very tortuous. They made sure they checked every box they freaking could. It was like Disney gave them a list and they checked. Yep, we got the transsexual. Yep, we got the gay black guy. Yep. Good. We got the female. Yep. Check. We got everything. Did they have, I don't know. Did they have a disabled person this episode? I think they did, didn't they?
Could make an argument of the mother. Was the interviewer, was she in a wheelchair? No, that was after an accident.
I remember somebody in a wheelchair.
It was the interviewer. She had accidents,
Oh,
and then they
right.
put her in a wheelchair.
There you go. So we got the wheelchair. Everything's in there. It's that kind of thing that makes it tough to watch. Plus, I don't know, man. There's plenty of room in the world for flamboyantly gay characters. I don't think my doctor is one of them. So it was very weird for me to see this dude being just like, yay! You know, I feel like throwing confetti in the air. I mean, it was over the top, it seemed, but
I don't know. I mean, I've got mixed feelings too, but they're a little different. Like the TARDIS was basically green. Like what was that?
no.
And just the overall production, it feels. I've been going back and watching some of the old new Doctor Who stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's like definitely the stuff from probably about the middle of Tennant's run up until Capaldi was done. Really didn't feel like it was for little kids, right?
Right.
It was more for like maybe young adult, some adult, whatever.
Especially Capaldi stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
And this, like, I don't know, all the new stuff kind of seems to be like, get your kid shoes on, right?
Yeah. For sure. That's the feeling I've gotten a lot, even with the David Tennant stuff.
Yeah. But I just mean, like, as far as vehicles are concerned, I don't think there's a better vehicle than the Doctor for exploring these ideas of like representation and normalization, stuff like that. And I think it's a thing with like our generation, we're kind of hitting our stride with what, boomers and everybody else have had to put up with, is that, the world's going to keep changing.
Yeah.
And you can be the old curmudgeon and yell at the sky about it, or, just be okay with it, or find something, right?
Oh, but see, I know, but I'm okay. I'm okay with it. It's just the media is the way it's done is what irks me to no end, man.
And I'm with you on that.
It's just so over the top, man. It's just a product of what we're living in right now, the world we live in right now.
It is,
and I hope it changes.
Well, I think it's just oversaturation, right?
Yes, like, no doubt.
24 hours of your day, you have something to distract you, right? And everybody's vying for that. Everybody's doing this little check box of like, well, this will, apply to this demographic and all this other stuff. And
they want to do it all in like 90-second shorts too.
Right. And so it leads to this lazy story writing that I've been bitching about all this time. And I'm like, I think it's fine to have the head scientist of unit in a wheelchair. That no problem with that. There's no reason to not have that. But just to check a box by like some kind of just a one-liner or something to say, okay, this will apply to this demographic, that's disingenuous. And it's
right. It feels disingenuous. That's a great way to put it, man.
Yeah.
It just feels like you're just trying to cater to everyone, every possible way imaginable. And that's no way to think. You can't do that. I mean, there's no possible way to do that. So you can't try to do that. And now that you're trying to do that, you can see how it offends the shit out of people. Because the few people that are all for it, there's just as many of them, if not more, against it, because they're sick of it. They might not start out against it, but after a while they start to say, oh, well, wait a minute, man, we're not getting any kind of substance in the quality of these movies and TV shows. So,
and that's what it is. It's like oftentimes it's put up as, oh, you're what is it, transphobic or whatever, and it's not that. It's like, fine, bring these ideas into the story, but give me a fucking story, right?
Absolutely,
give
man.
me with the meat on the bones.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I'm the farthest thing. If you took a microscope into my past 30 years, I'm the farthest thing from transphobic, homophobic, any kind of phobic, really. I mean, if you can, because they made weird phobic things I've never heard of. So, I just don't care. It's all about just how you walk the walk and how you talk the talk in life, and how you are around me in general. The way it's portrayed, though, is in the way they insist that you're a bad person if you don't look at it through their eyes, through the lenses they have.
Well, I want to make one last comment on this. It's about the Disneyfication, and I've figured out why I hate so much Disney stuff, and it's because there was an exception with The Loft here in this last episode of Doctor Who. They did a good job on the set design. There was color, it looked real, it looked lived in. That's not what I expect from Disney. Like, in their stories, their sets, their costumes, it's all just like, here's your set, right? It's like, here's a table over here, here's a door, whatever.
Not
That's
important.
what you get.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just background.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't draw you in.
It was very clear at the end of this episode that this was all Disney. For this moment in time, anyway.
I will agree with that.
Their hooks deeply, deeply into it, and it's sad because I just happened to see an old video, I guess, that has popped up in my feed before. Some guys, I guess, done a piece on, I just see the thumbnail, and it's got this poster of Marvel. Who else besides Star Wars? There's Marvel, Star Wars. Somebody else, and I can't think of who it was.
Disney stuff?
Yeah, it was like IPs that they own now. So it was Marvel, the Star Wars IP. It was one other, and I said, "Well, you can throw Doctor Who on there as well, because they have their hooks fully into that." I know Russell T. Davis is definitely all go for it. Like I'm sure he's all game for whatever they have to do. I don't know if he's bothered by having to do all that stuff. I doubt it. I don't think he wouldn't do it on his own.
To the paycheck, right?
Yeah. I don't think he would do all this on his own, but I don't think he has a problem with it either.
He wouldn't. All you have to do is go back to the old Doctor Who stuff I was talking about that he, was a part of.
Yeah.
And it's totally different stories, right?
Yeah, but but they handled it just so right. I mean, like Captain Jack just does not bother me. Yeah, they did not, and I've said that in the past on a previous episode. It's just the way they do it. It was just creative writing, man. That's all you got to do is be creative with it. You don't have to hit us over the head with a hammer, man. Slide it in there subtly.
Yeah,
real subtle. Shit. I don't want to dwell on this too.
Story where it's a part of it, right?
Yeah. So I don't want to dwell on it too much because I really have no. I don't know how I feel about it right now. We have to see more before I can make more judgment on how I end up feeling about this Doctor. So we have to wait till spring for that.
I'm going to go ahead and call it. It's Disney. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I feel like I'm not a fan. I want to be honest and say I'm leaning heavily in that way. I just want to, because so often you got to give somebody a little bit of time to get into their character, and we'll just see. We'll see what happens. Hopefully we'll have different writers. Yeah,
to be clear, I have no problems with Ncuti. I think he's a fine Doctor. It's just, like I said, the Disneyfication.
Yeah.
Can't handle it.
Yeah, it's rough. It's a bit hard. But anyway, sliding from one IP into the next, I did mention Star Wars before.
You did.
I got, I passed, speaking of YouTube and seeing stuff in my timeline, I saw something about StarWars Outlaws, and I checked it out, and I was like, ooh. The guy was like, I'm getting really excited for Star Wars Outlaws. And I remember, I was too back when I first heard about this. So now boom, here we are about to enter 2024, and we're just getting ever closer. I don't know when. Yeah, we don't know when yet, but we just know hopefully it'll be in this year. So, I mean, honestly, it's Grand Theft Auto for Star Wars. That's what it is. And I have gone on multiple testimonials on how much I like that model.
Right.
Cyberpunk, Red Dead Redemption. In fact, I just saw GTA 5 on sale. I got it for $10
Right.
this past week. And I went ahead and, I'm like, dude, I think I got to have that. And for that price, I think I got to have that. So that's just how much I love that particular style of gameplay. I think right now it's been the most enjoyable. Like, there's been other videos I've seen, like, what's wrong with games today? Why are games so boring?
Yeah.
And I don't think those games fall in that category.
I don't know. I played through 5 and like I liked, unfortunately he was the racist one, but he was also the most interesting character.
Yeah.
I kind of felt like the other two characters were kind of vanilla in my opinion.
Did you do the online? Did you play it online a lot, or did you just do the
No,
story?
I have a few friends who do the RP online stuff.
See, I thought about getting into that a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird because you've got to find a server for it, and the
Right.
servers are going to have their rules. They're going to have their already actors. They're going to also have like storyline arcs that are dictated, like world arcs.
Right.
So it's not necessarily like, ooh, I want to be this, and I'll drop in.
Yeah.
It'll be like, ooh, I want to do this, and you'll find something close to it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's like getting the part at the school play. You don't know what you're going to end up with.
Exactly.
Third cloud on the right. So I don't remember when we talked about this game before, what we knew at the time. Now we know a little bit more. Apparently there's going to be 3 factions that you can do work for. That's the Hutts, which we're very familiar with. I believe Jabba the Hutt's going to be one of the main characters we can do work for.
Right.
The Pikes, which we learned a lot about in Solo.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure probably a lot of other reading material has elaborated on the Pikes as well. And for this game, created for this game, the Ashiga.
Right.
So we've never heard of them, and I guess we'll find out what they're like when they come out. I'm looking forward to that, just being able to play, or do jobs for like the Hutts and whatever. Because it sounds like our protagonist is, well, we already know she's female. Her name is Kay Vess.
Right.
And she's basically, what I can tell, a female Han Solo. This takes place just after the Battle of Hoth and right before Return of the Jedi. So it's a real nice seedy period. The Empire is on top. I mean, the rebels are all but beaten back at this point.
Still out there in pockets, but
it's looking bleak.
All hell the Empire all the way.
That's right. So it's really, to me, it sounds like a perfect time.
Yeah.
And one of the things also that seems like a big deal that's different, in my opinion, from Cyberpunk and obviously from Grand Theft Auto is the inclusion of this character Nyx, this little critter. It's kind of familiar. It's her best friend apparently. He's a Mercal, whatever species. I don't know if we've heard of that species before in the Star Wars universe. I'm sure some uber nerd knows. Oh yeah, that was that was in Star Wars comic number 35 back in 1976.
Right. It sounds familiar. It sounds like the word has been dropped somewhere.
Yeah, I hope so. I like when they pull back in on stuff that we've heard about before rather than just make up new stuff. The world is so rich as it is with literature. Like stuff, that's why I love what Dave Filoni's been doing, bringing so much stuff that got relegated to Legends back into canon. That's awesome.
Right.
Because we had some great Legends stuff that really it needed to be brought in. Not just the Thrawn stuff. There's all kinds of stuff,
You know what I discovered yesterday?
What did you discover?
I never knew until yesterday that Filoni was involved with The Last Airbender.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
He's a good artist, that guy. Have you seen his
He
art?
is.
I mean, well, you see it all the
He was
time.
storyboard
If you don't
artist.
know it,
That's
yeah.
what it was.
If you watched any of the stuff with storyboards and stuff, you've seen his art.
Yeah.
And once you've seen it, you know his style, and you'd be like,
Right.
oh, well, I see it all the time. Because if you ever watch Rebels, all the art inside Ezra's, his stuff he has drawn on the walls, that's all Filoni's. I mean, like that
Right.
is a perfect representation of his artwork. Oh, so we were talking about the little Nyx dude, right? He's a little critter. So he's basically like, like an extra arm or something, just something where you can be like crouched down behind a crate and there's like a Imperial stormtrooper or something over there, and you got to go turn off something real stealthy, like a control or something. You can send little Nyx over there, and he'll walk up to the control panel, turn it off, without getting a stormtrooper alarm. So I'm thinking that's going to be a nice little touch that'll make difference. Because honestly, yeah, when I go into Cyberpunk or Grand Theft Auto, I mean, obviously they're completely different worlds, but you're essentially kind of doing the same things. You're just running jobs, shooting people, racing around in cars. So any little thing like a little Nyx or something like that is cool. We'll see. Maybe it sucks. We don't know. But, I mean, it's just nice that somebody's trying something different.
Agreed. Yeah. I still want to see, lightsaber users that aren't Jedis or Siths. Like, just like a normal guy who comes across a lightsaber, maybe cuts his arm off. Or
right. That'd be kind of funny. Some vibroblade action will be nice to see around. I'm always, when we see the rare times we've seen those in live action in the last couple of years, I was like,
yeah, there was like, we can count them on one hand,
I think it was one, actually. Maybe just one.
Well, I'm wanting to say maybe there were a couple of others, but there obviously I think we're thinking of the same one, but I'm like...
And I wonder, was there one in Solo at all? I don't think. Maybe not.
I don't recall.
That seemed like that would be the perfect place for one.
Yeah.
And I've only saw The Last Jedi once, so I don't know if they have any weird things like that in there.
I can't recall it in any of the sequels.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
Forgetful movies, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So, just one more little thing, man. This is something, so I got, for Christmas, I got my wife, originally she wanted me to burn her some old 80s hair metal, Tesla, Cinderella, Great White. And I got thinking about it. We went to see Tesla like last summer or whatever, and we're still both big fans, and they're still going around rocking all the time and earning money. So I have, a big problem with let's burn a CD of the band we love so much. I thought, well, let's give the band money instead. And I hope, honestly, they get the money. I started thinking about maybe they don't even fucking get this money. Maybe Geffen gets all the money still, after all these years. Who knows? I hope they do, though. So needless to say, I ended up buying her like 4 or 5 CDs. And she's like immediately wanting to check it out. Well, the only CD player in the whole room is her PlayStation 4 sitting there. So naturally, I'm like, no problem, right? I throw the CD in there. I start going through the thing. Of course, it should have just auto-played. But I started going through the thing. It's like unsupported disc. I'm like, what the fuck? Unsupported disc. I'm like, why do I feel like I've been here before? So I looked it up real quick, and sure enough, no, we don't support, CDs. And the story was that Sony was or did, now we know, you and I looked it up, but now we know that they had the View service, PlayStation View, which had movies, music, whatnot, probably even games. I don't know if they did the game section on that. Probably wasn't. It was probably PlayStation Store. So anyway, movie and music, we know it had that. And so, being the greedy bastards they are, they want people, I guess. I mean, listen, you can let people play their own CDs. You don't have to let them fucking rip them on the damn PlayStation 4. So why can't they just pop a disc in and have a player? I think that's stupid as hell. But nonetheless, they figure that's going to eat into their market share, which proved to be pointless anyway, because View is now gone for 3 years now. What did we say, 2020 when we looked it up? Yeah. 2020. So 3 fucking years gone, and I still, why don't you, okay, so you looking down the road, PlayStation 4 is a generation old now. Yeah. Why can't you just retrograde? Because they put out an update not too long ago. People were like, oh my God, they just put out an update for the PlayStation 4. Why don't you just give some kind of little upgrade when you got a little media player in there and give us back access to that? That seems stupid.
I think it's honestly, even back then, it was the departure from physical media. Nobody wants you to have anything anymore, right?
Well, yeah,
It's
it
all
seems that way,
get your
doesn't it?
subscription, get your digital copies.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, I can understand, like, if you want to come at it from like a waste perspective, it makes sense. But at the same time, it's just the subscription model of life that everything has become.
Yeah, which is weird in the time when everybody's wanting to collect albums and shit now too.
Right.
So go figure. So we ended up looking up to see, did the PlayStation 5 change this? Well, unfortunately, View was still around when it came out, so they had no difference in their opinions on letting you play a CD on your PlayStation. So I'm pretty sure it still worked on the 3. I know it worked on the 2 and the 1. So fuck off, Sony. I think you're greedy bastards. It turns out we were talking that digital rights stuff. I think that ended up not happening. May probably, it could anytime though with digital rights. We never know.
Right.
But we ended up looking up because I said, I bet you Microsoft hasn't given up on playing the old audio CD, and it is in fact true that the Xbox Series X and not S, because S doesn't have a drive inside it, but the Series X can play and will play audio CDs.
Yeah, apparently, though, there are some programs that naturally overwrite like permissions on that. So I did see when we were looking up, a lot of people are like, why can't I play an audio CD? And so apparently, like out of the box, it'll be fine, but maybe sometimes you'll install something and it'll throw a wonky codec in there or something.
Yeah. So, yeah, because they said something like you could install like My Groove or something like that. I guess that's so you can have an MP3 library you can play, and also I guess it'll also play your CDs if you pop them in. Listen, we're old. Fuck. We got CDs lying around, and like I said, I still want to give money. Of course, now, too, the funny thing is she bought herself a little Bluetooth adapter, so she'll be using her phone like I do in our car. And she's already got her little YouTube account set up, music account going. So this is like a moot point now. But
yeah.
Anyway, I mean, it's still, to me, there's plenty of people that still like playing CDs, and I just thought it was worth bringing up that it's just amazing that it didn't end up making a bit of difference to Sony. View is gone. They lost their ass on it. Let's remember, in a time when everybody was sitting on their ass watching TV. So It's amazing that they didn't go further past 2020. But Sony has got a history of fucking things up, man.
Right.
Coming out with some great technology and then ended up just do not get it over the line. We're thankful Blu-ray did. Finally, they got one over.
Right. Yeah.
Beta could have been great, was great, but
I was gonna say, yeah,
porn
people would argue coulda.
Yeah, the porn industry killed that. You know that, right? That's how VHS became, because VHS were longer tapes, even though they did look better. And porn, they could get more on tape. So, yay! Once they found out they could, make all those tapes, send them out in their little brown bags to everybody, the game was over for Sony and Beta. But a version of it lived on in professional, with Beta SP. So, anyway, I'm just waffling on. Anything else you want to rant about or say before we call it a day?
Not particularly. I could rant all day and get nothing out.
Yeah, I hear that. Well, we are at the end of 2023, and the next time we meet, it will be 2024.
Good riddance to a bad year.
Yeah, you and I have birthday months coming up soon.
Yep, yours before mine.
Yeah, just 2 weeks before yours. And I don't know. I've already started to give thought to different things. I've already can tell that my, I get in these routines all the time, daily, but they change every so often.
Yeah.
And I'm about to go through one of those changes. I can feel it.
I need to. I would like that to happen for me.
But. Yeah. Well, you can make them happen. I do that from time to time. I just make them happen. A lot of times they happen organically, and that's what's happening right now. I can kind of, because I'm not doing it on purpose, I can feel it organically happening.
Right.
I'm a slave to my mind unless I actively take over. So right now I'm on autopilot, and maybe just because it's Christmas and we're,
this is a perfect time for it. It's that time between Christmas and New Year's. It's a good time to recharge.
Well, see, I'm just that crazy. I want my fiscal year to be the actual fiscal year. That's just how insane I am. So I'm going to start.
Logic and reason, what?
I'm going to start right on the 1st. We'll see. But anyway,
right.
So until then, we'll see you in 2024. We hope you all have a great and safe New Year's Eve. Do not drink and drive. Get somebody to, well, nowadays you just call an Uber, right? You don't need to have somebody hold your keys and shit. Just call an Uber.
Bring a sleeping bag to your friend's place.
That's right, man. That's what we used to do. We used to just crash at our friend's place, man. Fuck, wake up the next morning and drive drunk, half drunk.
I don't need a pillow. Give me a shoe.
That's right. No doubt. No doubt. So as always, guys, be excellent to each other, and we'll see you on the flip side.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah. Thank you. Peace.